Hello and welcome to the next Lukozer retro game review video. And for this one, well, I haven't done any arcade coin-op conversions for a while. Well, at least it doesn't feel like I've done any for a while. And the fact that this is the first one that I've chosen to do of the conversions that I have disc images of may give you a pretty good indication as to why I haven't done any for a while. So this is 1942, which was released by Elite in, I can't remember when, and is a conversion of the Capcom coin-op. Now, let's cut to the chase. I hate the coin-op original. It is as bland and as boring a shoot 'em up as I have ever seen. And so when this conversion came out, shock horror, I never went fucking near it. I could not have been less interested in it if I'd tried. So I didn't have this back in the day. But, well, let's get a game underway. So here we go. I don't know if it's just my imagination, but it looks like, oh fuck you know, it looks like the none of the propellers on any of the aircraft are actually like turning. So that's one power up. Now the trouble is I can't stay around the back here for very long because soon enemy aircraft come along from behind, which I hate. I've got another power up, but I don't know what it's done. I don't think it's done anything. I've also got a fucking itch, which is fucking annoying. So I lost a fucking life there thanks to that. So this restart point, what a fucking place to put a restart point. Oh, you... Thought I've been backed into the corner there. So I think we are approaching the end of the first level. Yep, there we go. Shot down 50%. For me, that's fucking good. I didn't use any of the rolls. I never use any of the rolls. I think it is an absolutely pointless fucking feature. I'll show it to you anyway. You press space and you do that. Now, what good does that do? It helps you avoid something very briefly, but then it puts you straight back into the same place again. So anyway, so I managed to get my name on the high score sheet, which I don't bother filling in because it uses that fucking arcade style. We got a fucking keyboard, but no. Right, let's have another go. As you can clearly see, one go on this does not last very long, especially if you are as shit at this as I am. Oh, you fucking hell! Right, so yeah, I did really well there, and I did exactly the same fucking thing. Right, that last one can fuck off. And fuck you, what was that? Right, let's try again. Right, well, I mean, I can't do any worse than I did on that go. So here we are. Yeah, I've already lasted better than I did on my first go of this. I can't take out that big, any of those big fucking airplanes. They just seem to take, or need to take too many hits. I can't fucking hit the cunting things. So I'll try and get him again, but no, missed again. I haven't got any fucking power-ups on this go either. But I have managed to get through level 1 without losing a life this time. But my shooting down percentage was shit. 43. Okay, alright, here we go. Time for level 2. Oh, you fucking cunt. Yeah, okay. Fuck off. Right, let's see if I can actually last a bit longer. So much for that. Well, there you go, 1942, wasn't that fucking great? Okay, well, let's get the review underway. Graphics. This game suffers from bomb jack syndrome. The fuck off! The sprites are too big and too chunky. And so, you know, it means that the playing area is smaller than you really need. This is due to the fact that the coin-op original was played in the screen was in portrait mode, and so yeah, it was basically like 16:9 aspect ratio but turned on its side. So your playing area was a lot taller than this. And so, yeah, when you get things like enemies appearing from behind, which happens a hell of a lot, in the arcade coin-op, you do actually have the chance to, well, be part way up the screen so as to avoid it. Here, it doesn't take long for you to get more than halfway up the screen, and then you are in, like, real fucking grief then. Because you don't have time to react to any of the enemies that come along from the top. Still can't take out that fucking big aircraft. Oh, fucking hell! So yeah, when the enemies do come along from behind, they really fuck you off like that one did just then. And then. God, this is already fucking really hurting my fucking hand. So yeah, so as well as the actual aspect ratio, the sprites are okay, I suppose, except that they are very blocky and very chunky and too big. Oh, fucking hell. And the backgrounds are very bland, and that's when there is actually something on the background anyway. A lot of the time there isn't anything. So graphically it's instantly forgettable. Then when it comes to audio, so it has this rendition of the 633 Squadron theme, which you'll all remember as not being in the game or the coin-op original at all. Also has some rather bland sound effects. But then I always assumed that this was by the same, you know, this conversion is by the same people who did the conversion of Bomb Jack, because like the Bomb Jack conversion, it has this fucking music which was not in the game. Never was in the game. So why the fuck they thought, right, we'll put it in the conversion, I do not know. It's just like, as I say, like with Bomb Jack, I mean, Jean-Michel Jarre's Magnetic Fields Part 2 was never in that game, and yet for some reason they stuck it in the conversion. And here we are with this fucking 633 Squadron, and that was never in the game. I suppose it does sort of partly make up for the bland sound effects, which the coin-op didn't do. I mean, the coin-op had absolutely no fucking you know, interesting audio at all, and that's one of the reasons why it just never interested me. It just always looked and sounded fucking boring. Finally got one of the big aircraft. There we go, so that I think is level 1 done again. So anyway, yeah, so that's sound, and then the gameplay. Well, it's a realistic conversion as far as the game is fucking boring and has nothing in it to make me want to come back and keep playing it. So in that regards, yeah, it's a great conversion. It's just like the Commodore original. I mean, as vertical scrolling shooters go, it is staggeringly bland, and it's just not an interesting game to play at all. Like I say, that's exactly what the original version was like. So I know the original, you know, the Commodore original had a fairly good following, and I could never fucking work out why. And there were going to be loads of people who, well, I say loads, it's not as if I get loads of people watching my videos anyway, but there will be people who will no doubt comment on the video and say, oh, I thought 1942 was fucking great. Yeah, well, I'm not one of those. I thought it was a fucking shit pile. So again, we are approaching the end of level 1, and another thing that gives this, you know, makes this a pretty good conversion of the Commodore is the fact that it also has the same horrendous English. What does last 23 stage mean, for fuck's sake? Another great translation there. I mean, it's not quite as bad as Goal In for Rainbow Islands, but it's up there. Oh, fucking hell! And then, yeah. And then when you lose your last life, there's no, like, game over bit, you know, it just instantly launches back into either entering your name in the high score or back onto the title page here. So to sum up, it's utterly forgettable, just like the Commodore. It's extremely bland, just like the Commodore, and it's quite sloppily programmed, really. The graphics are too big for the playing area. The you know, the inclusion of this music, just okay, it sort of livened things up a little bit, but not a lot. And yeah, there is nothing memorable about this game at all. The gameplay is bland and fucking annoying when the enemy aircrafts appear from behind, because the playing area is small enough to begin with, and the size of all of the aircraft, all of the sprites, I'll have one more go. The size of all of the sprites means that you have pretty much no time to really react to them when they do show up. So you've got to really sort of try and memorise the where they're going to appear, which obviously I am fucking hopeless at doing. Alright, so I know now the aircraft, yeah, the big one is going to show up there. Can I? Oh, fucking hell! I finally took him out. And then the really useful, yeah, loop-the-loop feature. It says roll in the description of it, but it's doing a loop-the-loop, not a roll. So, okay. Alright, well, I'm not going to be able to take this cunt out, and he's fucking taking me out anyway. Alright, let's see, I've had more than enough of that fucking shit. So, yeah, surely 1942 was not a difficult game to convert, and they could have done a better job of it than this, for fuck's sake. And also coding and graphics by Stephen Green. I went to school with someone called Stephen Green. He was an absolute fucking wanker. He was also a big time bullshit merchant. Anyway, so that is 1942 by Elite Systems. I score it 2 out of 10, and yeah, the game is every bit as forgettable as this review video. Alright, well, that's that one done. We'll see you at the next one.